Renault continues to retain its place amongst the hot hatchback elite with this revitalised Megane R S. The headlines include the addition of a 4-control 4-wheel steering system, plus a more powerful 1.8-litre engine putting out at least 280 horsepower. There's a 5-door body style this time round, and buyers choose between manual or paddle shift auto transmission. Plus there's a stiffer Cup chassis set up if you want it, along with a track-tamed trophy version at the top of the range. The promise is that this car will have a wider appeal than ever before. Let's see.
Much has changed here and it's all still brilliant. Under the bonnet, the world's most powerful 1.8-litre engine delivers 280 horsepower and 390 newton meters of torque. You can also talk to your dealer about an even more focused top trophy version with 300 horsepower. Either way, there's the option of manual or paddle shift automatic transmission. In the manual standard model, 62 miles an hour from rest takes 5.8 seconds en route to a 158 miles an hour maximum, and you'll be able to get all that grunt onto the tarmac a little more easily this time around thanks to standard 4-control 4-wheel steering. As usual with these sorts of systems, the rear wheels steer slightly in the opposite direction to the fronts at low speeds, and that's to shorten the turning circle, and they steer it slightly the same direction as the fronts at higher speeds to improve cornering stability. What's different here though is that you can alter the changeover point between the two settings. It's normally fixed at 37 miles an hour. In its most focused race mode though, this car will countersteer its rear wheels all the way up to 62 miles an hour, which pivots the car into tight corners at speed with a directness that will initially surprise you until you learn to apply a little less lock to compensate. What else? Well, 2 different types of chassis are on offer, Sport or Cup. The straightforward Sport chassis that we'd recommend provides easy, sporty driving with impressive ride compliance thanks to special rally-derived all-round hydraulic bump stops, which also enable optimum control of tyre ground contact. The 10% stiffer Cup chassis that we're trying here offers greater, more focused performance for track and fast road use, and it includes a Torsen limited slip differential for greater cornering traction. If you favour the Cup variant, then you'll be the kind of buyer who will probably be interested in the RS Monitor telemetry system, which gives you real-time performance data as you drive. You might also like the RS Monitor Expert option, which allows drivers to film their track sessions and then overlay telemetry data to create augmented reality videos, which can later be analysed on a provided RS Replay website. As for efficiency, well, the returns of a 1.8-litre, 280 horsepower manual gearbox Megane R S model like this one are 39.8 mpg on the combined cycle and 161 grams per kilometre of CO2. So, what do you think? Now, some previous Renault Sport products have looked rather max power. That's a boy racer image that customers with around £30,000 to spend would generally rather avoid. Hence, with this third attempt at RS Megane design, a car that's classier than anything the French brands yet provided to the hot hatch market. There's certainly a pretty menacing front end, and it's one dominated by the wide front bumper intake, which incorporates a gunmetal grey painted F1 style front blade that's supposed to reference the brand's involvement in Grand Prix racing, as does the RS Vision LED lighting system's checkered flag style lower lamp design that this styling element flows out into. At the wheel, the driving position is brilliant. The supportive sport seat places you perfectly in front of this grippy, leather-trimmed 3-spoke RS wheel. Through this, you view a 7-inch instrument cluster screen, which usually prominently displays a rev counter and a digital speedo. Pressing this RS Drive button at the base of the centre stack delivers a red theme both to this display and to that of this central portrait-style touchscreen. As well as usual media, navigation and informational functions, this centre stack R-Link 2 display allows you to access a key option for this car, and that's the RS Monitor. And it's a telemetry tool with a kind of readout menu that presumably Renault's engineering team must peruse in the F1 pit lane. Here there's digital and graphical feedback on almost every dynamic element, as well as track tips and a lap timer. An additional unique RS Monitor Expert feature will even let you film your driving sessions and then overlay the footage with telemetry data and share it over social media if that's your thing. Time to take a seat in the back, which of course is where you'll most appreciate this generation model's switch from coupe to 5-door body style. Now, we had quite high expectations here, given the standard Megane donor model's relatively lengthy wheelbase and the fact that it's also one of the widest cars in the class. In the event, accommodation here is quite tight, and that's despite Renault's insistence that there's more shoulder room than most rivals can offer. At least you can accommodate 3 adults across the back here if you have to, something that's annoyingly not possible in the rival Honda Civic Type R. As you expect, cargo room is much more generous than was the case with the previous coupe model. Capacity has risen from 344 to 434 litres. And in summary, well, other hatches in the class are more powerful than this one, but none are faster where it matters. The 4-wheel steering system adds another dimension to this car's talents, but ultimately they remain as purely race-bred as they've always been. Bottom line, Renault's Dieppe division has delivered.